first, I want to welcome Ersin Tatar to the studio. He's leader of the Turkish Cypriot community and president of North Cyprus. Ersin, thank you very much, or Mr. President, maybe I should say, thank you very much for joining us in the studio. Now, North Cyprus is not recognised by any country in the world as a state apart from Turkey. Yes. It's not recognised by the United Nations. And given that the situation has existed since 1974, why should other nations recognise North Cyprus as a separate entity?
If you go back into history, after the Ottoman times, the British leased the island, and then after the First World War, the British, according to us, annexed it, and then the Lausanne Agreement, 1923, it became under British sovereign rule. During those times, the Greeks, with their EOKA movement, were into gangs and other attempts to unite Cyprus with Greece. And this was not allowed because even Britain, United Kingdom, did at the same time. It said, here there exist two peoples, two communities, but in literature, peoples, because you've got the Turks who are Turkish, Islam, different culture, different history, different experience, and the Greeks. And the 1960 Republic of Cyprus, of which the United Kingdom is a guarantor power, it does say explicitly in there that from Cyprus you have two peoples. One is Turkish sovereign people, the other one Greek sovereign people. So Greeks are not more sovereign than the Turks. Therefore, since
but there are more of them.
Could be, but we have more living outside of Cyprus. We have more Turkish people living in Anatolia than in Cyprus. We have probably as many here in the UK and other places. And therefore, as a people, regardless of the population, we are as sovereign as Greek Cypriots. Therefore, we are co-founders of the Republic of Cyprus. And as a distinct people, we deserve to have our own self-determination. This is the international parameter, that if you are a people, you should have a say of your future. But and in the Annan plan, we did say yes to this comprehensive...
This was in 2004, the Annan
we
plan,
did say yes.
Kofi Annan. Yeah. Your community said yes, and the Greek Cypriots said no.
And we were promised that if we said yes to this plan, then all the embargoes and isolations would be lifted, so that the Turkish Cypriots will be more comfortable with their economy and all the rest of it. But unfortunately, they said no. And having said no, they were rewarded by being into Europe without even consulting neither the Turkish Cypriots, co-founders of the Republic of Cyprus, nor the guarantor power Turkey. Therefore, it's tilted against us with the European bloc behind them. Therefore, now, the new policy, we have our own sovereignty. We have had a different state, separate state, for the last 60 years. Since December 1963, Turkish Cypriots have had their own state, Greek Cypriots with the Republic of Cyprus on their own.
But it's not recognised by anybody else apart from Turkey. That's the point.
Turkish recognition is very important because through Turkey, we have been able to survive with independence, with our honor, with our dignity. Otherwise, for the last 60 years, there have been a lot of attempts. In fact, according to one former Greek Cypriot foreign minister, 15 different United Nations proposals have all been rejected by the Greek Cypriots because their whole aim was to make the Turkish Cypriots a minority. We will never accept to be a minority because
numerically, factually and numerically, you are a minority.
Look at Greek Cypriots. They are in Europe. They have a veto power against all the others. With less than 1 million population, he stands next to Germany, Italy as an independent state. They are in my own country, just because the numbers have been such generated that they've got a few 100,000 more. That doesn't mean that sovereignty-wise, I should be humiliated. But my sovereignty is as important as theirs.
I can see that, but the fact is that Turkey invaded northern Cyprus.
No, it intervened to protect the Turkish Cypriots.
No.
Because Turkey was a guarantor power.
It invaded, and there are military forces there now.
No, guarantor. We called Turkey because we would have gone through another genocide. We did go through genocide in the 1960s, as did the British with the EOKA movement. They killed a lot of British soldiers to unite Cyprus to Greece. And you were in a lot of trouble. But then the Republic of Cyprus, they thought was the solution because it would have been a stable environment, coexistence together. But unfortunately, it only lasted for 3 years because Makaros did say at the time, this is just a stepping stone to analysis.
Okay.
All they had in mind, unite Cyprus to Greece. Therefore, the Turks had to be protected. And the motherland Turkey, because of her unilateral intervention right, as a guarantor power, moved in to protect the Turkish Cypriots.
Well, I'm sure the Cypriot High Commissioner will have a different view to that when I speak to him a bit later.
He might. But this is.
You're kind of splitting hairs on sort of the terms here, aren't you?
This is a very fundamental issue for Turkish Cypriots. Our security, our well-being, and our existence is very important. That's why we say coexistence.
I've read an article.
Two states next to each other.
I've read an article that you've written for the CAPEX website today, which is full of invective against the Greeks, but there isn't a lot in it that shows the way forward, apart from saying that there should be a two-state solution. It strikes me that not a couple of hundred miles to the east of Cyprus is Israel, where if when I have conversations with the Palestinian ambassador or the Israeli ambassador, it seems to me as if it's a very similar conversation here, where neither side seems to be willing to understand the arguments of the other side.
Well, you see, my feeling is that the Greek Cypriots know the problem. Turkish Cypriots are a different people. They are a different people. Reciprocity dictates that we should respect each other. Since we have had our own state for the last 6 years and they have got their own republic down in the south for the last 6 years, let's get together, neighborly relationship. So I am offering two states cooperating together in terms of economy, in terms of environment, in terms of energy. We have brought in water from Turkey, which is a major project, $1 billion worth of investment. We can share the water together. We can do all sorts of things together. And giving the new technology and the new...
But do you think a one-state solution is dead? Because it's difficult for me to put myself in the position of a Cypriot, whether it's Turkish or Greek. But if I was a Cypriot, I think I would want my island to be united. It's a bit like in Ireland. A lot of people want the island of Ireland to be united.
We have had a very bitter experience in the past. We have suffered a lot. In 1960, we had this vision also, but it didn't last for very long because of their ambition to unite with Greece, national pride. This morning...
but that's not going to happen now. No one's suggesting that, are
So
they?
basically, we have had our own state for the last 6 years. There's no going back. Let's cooperate. Let's cooperate in a very in democratic way so that we can work for our people, we can coexist. If we can coexist, it will be a win-win situation. Cyprus can be twice as big as Dubai, believe you me, because Greek Cypriots, I respect them, they're entrepreneurs, they're very able people, so are the Turkish Cypriots.
So get together.
So let's work out a practical solution. It's got to be practical, it's got to be sustainable, it's got to be workable,
and
it's got to be realistic.
For you, it's got to be sellable to your voters in northern Cyprus, in that you might personally, I'm not trying to put words into your mouth here, but you might personally think, well, yeah, I would quite like to have a one-state solution, but I don't think I'll be able to sell that to my people.
Well, basically, our people are very concerned about the security because we have sacrificed a lot. We have gone through, in a way, I don't want to say it, but genocide. Therefore, we don't want to go back all those times. What we want is our security and our confidence that we can exist with our own sovereignty. That's why we say two sovereign equal states cooperating together for the well-being of all Cypriots, and obviously Cyprus is a regional balance between Turkey, and Greece. That's very important. Now that Europe is in Europe, and if there is a federal agreement, as they always thought should be, Cyprus will be wholly in Europe, because Turkey is not in Europe. Turkey will be out, and they are asking that after a settlement, Turkey will have to pull out. Turkey will go, and Turkish guarantee will be expired. This is unfair on Turkey because we are always together with Turkey. Turkey is our motherland, and Turkey has done a lot.
Just on that, you have been accused of being President Erdogan's puppet.
Well,
I don't say that as an insult, but that is an accusation that people have made. Give me one occasion where you've disagreed with him.
Well, basically, my policy is that I should be in full conformity with Turkey because Turkey is a big power. Substantial aid, economic aid.
But that's like Ukraine saying that we should be in full accord with Russia. It doesn't work, does it? If you want to be an independent nation.
Our relationship with Turkey, as far as we are concerned, is so significant that we, in all aspects of life, we try to cooperate with motherland Turkey, because motherland Turkey has always sacrificed a lot for the Turkish Cypriots. They've lost a lot because they supported Turkey. The Turkish Cypriots troops were in Cyprus, all over the place, but they always have been with the Turkish Cypriots because they believed in us, they believed in our security, and basically our relationship is constructive because we are important for Turkish security. Turkey is only 40 miles away from Turkey, so near. When you wake up in the morning in Kyrenia, you can see the mountains of Turkey, and when they've had this earthquake on the 6th of February, we felt it in Cyprus, so near. Therefore, a lot of dimensions to the Cyprus problem, and Turkey, our motherland, is of critical essence.
Just finally, how optimistic are you that if we were sitting here in 10 years' time, assuming that both of us are still here in 10 years' time, are you optimistic that that we will be either nearer some sort of agreed diplomatic solution between the Republic of Cyprus and Northern Cyprus, or do you fear that the status quo that has existed for so long will still be there?
I want the international community, and especially the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is a guarantor power, has got responsibilities, and the British know the problem in Cyprus much better than
Would you like Britain to take a diplomatic initiative on this?
Yes, it should twist the arm of the Greek Cypriots a little bit more to come nearer to a practical solution. I will repeat again. For a solution in Cyprus, you need to be practical. It's got to be fair. It's got to be sustainable. You don't want an agreement in Cyprus which will lead to internal conflict again, because that will be damaging. We have had peace on the island for the last nearly 50 years after the Turkish intervention, and this peace is very valuable, not only for the Turkish Cypriots, also for the Greek Cypriots. They have had their economy prosper. Why? Because there is peace on the island, stability on the island. Why? The Turkish troops have been the insurance policy for peace and security and for stability. Therefore, we have to devise a solution forward so that we can coexist. Okay. And since we have had two different states on the island, I am offering my Greek friends, and I respect their ability, I respect their entrepreneurship, and I want to coexist. But the only way to coexist in the future, after all these experiences, two states side by side in good relationship for both Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots, because once we have a solution, it will be a win-win situation.
Okay.
Turkish Republic, for example, at the moment doesn't recognize the Greek Cypriot Republic down in the south. When we have an agreement, Turkish ports will be open to the Greek Cypriots. Turkish airspace will be open.
Leave it there, I'm afraid.
So you see, it's a win-win situation. It will be for the benefit of all Cypriots. So I propose and I beg them to reconsider their approach to the Cyprus problem and to respect the reality on the island.
I have to give equal time to our next guest, so I've got to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Very nice to meet you.